All right, we are back. Still here talking about some New York Giants football. Had a great offensive segment. Let's jump into the defensive side of the ball because, as they say to me, defense wins championships. I'm very sorry for using that corny phrase. The moment I thought of it, I said, "Don't say it," but I still said it.
Good. Be yourself.
Mistake. But thank you. Let's talk about someone who's already been mentioned previously on the offensive side of the ball when we mentioned the 2022 draft pick, Kayvon Thibodeau, to me. Out of Oregon, defensive end. What else can you tell us about this blue chip prospect?
I mean, he's got a fun personality. He came up. There was a kid who was able to announce the draft pick, and he was hyped. And he was up there. I think his name is Sam. He was hyped announcing the pick. Thibodeau came up. He was smiling, putting on the hat, like gave him a huge hug, gave Goodell like he did like a little like handshake with Goodell. Goodell was like, "What is going on?" It was really funny.
It was funny. Yeah, it was good.
But like, I think he's a fun personality if he can kind of like tame it down and get to football, like to have in New York. He's a fun guy. I mean, ultimately, like the Giants are just demanding success. And I think just it's a little hard having a big personality in the locker room, especially when we just want to win. Maybe it can light a spark though. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, he seems like a funny guy. So I'm excited for him. He's a great prospect, fell down some draft boards because of his injury, and he had sat out his sophomore season, right? Because of COVID.
Yeah.
So he sat out his sophomore season because of COVID. Played this year, but was a little hurt.
Yeah. No, definitely a top tier prospect that the Giants definitely liked. He fell down draft boards because like the consensus around him was he didn't have the same motor or like drive as other people, specifically Aiden Hutchinson. So that's kind of why he fell down a little bit, which is a little worrying. Anytime there's like effort or work ethic concerns, it's obviously going to be a little worrying, but analysts and agents drum stuff up all the time. So there's not too much like evidence behind that. But those were the concerns, which were the main reason he fell in the draft. But definitely a great defensive end. I think the Giants did a good job targeting two of the increasingly important positions in football with left tackle and defensive end. If we move on to the second level, Timmy, they also drafted Azeez Ojulari in the 2021 draft, picked up double-digit sacks, I believe, for the Giants this year, was drafted in the second round. How has that pick been panning out for the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, Ojulari, we got him in the second round. It was kind of a steal when we did get him. He's a great player out of Georgia. Another big guy who's going to get to the quarterback. He's pretty good at stuffing the run inside. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. It was his rookie year. He did well. He performed as a rookie. I mean, he was just a great player. And I'm excited he's going to be back this year. Hopefully better.
I agree. Great draft pick there as well. And then I would like to shout out Blake Martinez on the second level, played at Stanford. I actually got to meet him one time. Funny story. I don't know if I've ever told Timmy the story, but I was very young and I was walking Bailey, my dog, with my brother and my babysitter. And we're walking through Stanford and we see Andrew Luck, Blake Martinez, and David DeCastro just like on the field, just playing. So I got to meet them. Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment. I knew who Andrew Luck was. I didn't know who Blake Martinez was, which looking back, was a flaw in my 5-year-old mind. But that was a cool moment. He's a beast at middle linebacker for the Giants. And then Timmy, what about Leonard Williams? Just signed a big contract. I want to say last year, was it? Last offseason? Yeah, re-signed him. Got him in a trade from the Jets. because the Jets suck, obviously.
Yeah, that is
yeah,
one thing we can agree on.
Yeah, the Jets are horrible. How's Leonard Williams been playing?
I mean, Leonard Williams, he's been great actually. His first season with the Giants, it was a little spotty, like a tiny bit, but he was still a good player. And he was great last year. I mean, no complaints.
Very good.
Great player. I mean, we franchise tagged him, so he's with us for at least this year.
Yeah, I think he signed an extension, I believe. I can't be positive, but a very good player. And then in my opinion, most important part of the defense, the secondary. If we start at cornerback, big departure with James Bradberry.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowl caliber corner. The great signing for you guys. Definitely very good. Whenever you were like playing fantasy, you would have to check like if your receiver was matching up against Bradberry in like the 2020 season, because he was very good. What's the thought process behind letting him go?
Yeah, I think we need to fill up, or we need to get some more cap space. I mean, we need more cap space. We were in a lot of cap debt despite being not good at all last year. And that's not a good combination, being bad and not having cap space, because usually bad teams have some cap because they're not paying a bunch of good players much money. We didn't have a bunch of great players and we were spending a lot of money. So that's not good. And you kind of have to cut some great players when you do that. So we cut Bradberry. I guess our thought was we have some younger cornerbacks that are looking to make an impact. Guys that we drafted over the past 2 years, like Darnay Holmes and Aaron Robinson, are looking to kind of get up and maybe become slot corners. But we have some younger talent. I know we drafted Eli Apple a few years ago. He was terrible, and then we traded him. He was a terrible guy in the locker room, like just terrible pick.
Oh, Eli Apple.
Just to badmouth the Giants some more. But yeah, I don't know. We have some young talent, and that's just, I guess, a position that Shoden and I don't know if it was Shoden who made the move or it was Gettleman, but I'm pretty sure.
Shoden.
Yeah, I mean that was just an area that we felt comfortable cutting off, rather than, cutting some of our linemen, whereas we wouldn't have gotten as much money back from cap. But yeah, I think that was the easiest cut.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think even though it comes down to bad general management again. I mean, Dave Gettleman, Bradberry deserves his contract, but Dave Gettleman sticks the Giants with a $22 million cap hit for 2022 to retain Bradberry, which is like insane. Obviously Shoden's going to cut him. You get to save 10 million against the cap. He's a great player, but I mean, Gettleman just threw massive money at him and then Adoree Jackson and then Kenny Golladay and kind of screwed the Giants. Yeah, that was a horrible idea by him. If we talk about Adoree Jackson here, got a big contract from Dave Gettleman. How's Adoree Jackson been playing?
He's been fine. I mean, he's been good, but not, I don't think what we paid him. He's just been kind of fine. Like, he hasn't been anything special in my opinion. I think he's still a younger guy. He still has time to prove himself. I mean, he was on the Titans for 3 years before this. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's our number one corner. So
I agree. I mean, I think it's a pretty good summation. He had great plays. He had bad plays.
Yeah.
Like, he's not good enough for the 4 million, like 80 or 4 years, $84 million he got. I know like not all of that is guaranteed. But still, it's so puzzling what Gettleman did. I just don't get it at all. Like,
why sure would he's like some Cowboys or Commanders or Jets guy that's like somebody in our, like a spy.
He could be. Like, in the same offseason, he paid over 70 million. He actually paid 72 million for Golladay and then 84 for Adoree Jackson. re-signed Bradbury to the massive contract. It's just so bad, and it like pains me as someone who wants to be a general manager.
I do have a lot of faith in Shoten, though. I think what they did with the Bills was genius. I know Bills guys we have coming over. We got Matt Breida to back up Saquon. I think that's a great addition to our running back room. I know we also have
Did you guys get Matt Breida?
We got Breida, and then our third string is Gary Brightwell, who's like a run blocker. Yeah, because we lost Wayne Gallman to I think the Niners.
I loved Wayne Gallman.
I loved Wayne Gallman.
He
was great. Also, what was his name? One of the old Raiders backups we also had.
Oh, Darren McFadden?
No. It was Washington, maybe.
Oh, I know who you're like DeAndre Washington.
I think DeAndre. Yeah, I'm not
sure. Yeah.
I
loved Wayne Gallman. Yeah. Gallman was all I'm saying is if you took hindsight, Josh Allen, I was a huge fan. I called Josh Allen, but like he was not like just for the people who don't know, I called Josh Allen, but he was not that big. But let's just say you draft Josh Allen at number 2 and you just stay with Wayne Gallman as your running back. Oh my God. It would have been so much better. All right. So Wayne, if you just gave Wayne a chance, he never had a chance to be a number 1 running back.
I don't think we would have been able to develop Josh Allen like the Bills did, honestly.
I mean, yeah, true.
I don't know.
Like, there's not as much scrutiny in Buffalo because it's Buffalo. Like, it's Buffalo. Like, I agree.
Buffalo. I bet the people in Buffalo are great.
There is offense to Buffalo. It's like, it's Buffalo. There's not much there.
It's not New York City, right?
It's not New York City.
Not as much like everybody's like, ooh.
Exactly. I mean, we saw what it did to Darnold. Side note, that cost me like $600. It cost me like $600. Yeah, no, it's bad. But I've had an awesome time, Timmy.
Yeah, me too.
This has been a blast.
Thanks for having me on as the first guy ever on a podcast. You know.
Yes, you were. You were part of the Not a Podcast.
I appreciate like being brought back, you know.
No. Timmy, I don't know if I've shown you this yet, but I traded one of my Sam Darnolds because it's worthless, and I traded it for a Daniel Jones rookie card because that was the only thing I could get in return for because they're both depreciating so much. But now I'm a Daniel Jones fan, so fingers crossed. Let's hope Daniel Jones does something this year. I'm not going to say go Giants. I'll say go Daniel Jones. I won't say go Giants, though. I refuse. But it's been a pleasure, Timmy. Thank you for coming on. Any final statements for the viewing audience?
Just as a prediction, I think we're going to have 6 or 7 wins this year. That's my
you have to choose. No. On this podcast, you have to go 6 or 7, one or the other.
My gut says 6, but I want to say 7 because I'm going with my gut. 6 wins.
6 wins. Okay. Is it 6-12 now or 6-11? 6-11. Yeah. Okay. 6-11. I'm going to say you draft Evan Neal, Kayvon, Wendell. I'm going to go 5-12. I just don't see Daniel Jones doing anything. If I'm being honest, I'm trying to sell the card right now. I'm actively trying to sell it. Yeah. I say 5-12. Timmy says 6-11. We will come back and check on these predictions. Timmy, it's been a blast. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.